That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders. That's what he said with Cedric D. Sanders.
100% real, raw, and uncut. Deadass.
Welcome to another episode of That's What I Said with your host, Cedric Sanders, giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. The broadcast starts now.
You eat ass with a baby spoon. Bitch, what? You eat ass. You eat ass.
What's good, y'all? What's good? It's Friday. Y'all already know what it is. What you got over there, honey?
Not a thing. It is Friday, and I am just ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
It's been a week.
That it has. Peace and love to y'all. Hope y'all enjoying y'all Friday night. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all tapped in with the only live podcast that I can think of that's on a Friday that ain't recorded, because I do them live. That's the way I do my thing. I just do it like that. That's why I said the podcast was good, everybody. Peace and love to everybody that's joining me on Facebook, on Twitch, everybody listening around the world on Spreaker.com. If you ain't got Spreaker, you need to download it. Get the app. You turn on your notifications. You just search for That's What I Said. You turn on your notifications, and every time I go live, you get a notification, and you'll be able to participate in the chat that's already set up on the platform. Plus, if you're on Facebook, you get to chat with me as well, because I'm monitoring both my Facebook and everything that we're doing. But anyhow, what's going down tonight? Man, say. So, tonight I wanted to be a little bit aggressive, I guess, with how I see things. Not just financially, in a sense, but life. Because sometimes life I should say dissects the reality of some, you know, things going on in people's lives. So if you take the opportunity to actually listen to these conversations that I be having for a reason. Next Friday is Veterans Day, so that's going to be a crazy one. I don't know. What you think?
I think next week, I don't think will necessarily be crazy. I think it'll be more somber and, trying to allow our listeners to understand what it is to be a veteran of our military.
I mean, not necessarily just being, what it is to be a veteran. I mean, there's different statuses that I think people don't appreciate. Even in civil service, I mean, even when you have police officers and healthcare workers and firefighters and, people that risk their lives to protect us and keep us safe and heal us when we, fall down a ladder that we shouldn't have been up on in the first place, or, buying some illegal fireworks and the damn fuse is too short, but you still think you got enough time to throw it, and now you didn't blew off 2 of your fingers because you tried to be real fast with it. Damn, that happened to a football player. Anyway, so I was trying to be funny, and then I thought about it. I was like, damn, that happened to a football player, like in real life. So it's just weird, and I wanted to start having more serious conversations, not just for content, but that's what a podcast is. That's what a podcast is about. It's not necessarily having a live and being informative, but at the same time having the resources that's readily available from someone that actually may have experienced or has learned. Because every experience I learned from those experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. And if we're not learning from our experiences, then what are we learning? Are we learning survival? Are we learning how to protect ourselves? Are we learning all these different facets of things that supposed to make us better, but doesn't make us better in a good way or a bad way?
That's the question.
So a lot of times I think we get comfortable settling. And I don't think we have the conversation. I don't think it's being talked about enough. We get comfortable, I think, a lot of times in who we are around, who we feel safe around, who we've learned from, and how we took that information. And I think a lot of times we don't seriously look at the situation itself. We don't look at how I was brought in to be in these situations. Not until later in life, when you grow up and you got your own responsibilities, and then it's like, I did some dumb shit. Or you had the other side of the coin where you may not have done all of that. And, you had a couple bumps in the road, and not your own. But you had challenges that you overcame, and, you appreciate the struggle and did everything that you wanted to do. And now you're in a position where you're like, damn, I remember those hard days. Man, I don't want nobody to have to do them hard days. So you decide to try to teach people how to overcome those hard days. But see, the reason why I said sometimes I think people are getting comfortable settling is we all experience things differently. What I mean by that is that everyone's experience, people deal with them the way they feel they need to deal with them.
True.
Not everybody is going to settle deal with things the same way.
Correct.
Settling is a byproduct of having an option. This is just my definition. Y'all can write this shit down if y'all want to. But to me, that's what settling is. It's having an option. When you are settling, you are pitching an option to yourself.
Fork in the road.
Yes. Yes.
The left or the right, because those are the only two.
That's the only two options. It's left or right. As I sip my tea, people are not realizing this is how this fork in the road is created. That was a great analogy, by the way. I have to give you props on that. It was didn't mean to put the laugh button, but because then that would have made that would have made me seem like I was an asshole. I'm not. I'm an asshole, but not to my wife.
Face first.
So.
Shit like that.
We have settling to me is a fork in the road. It's a fork that was created as an option for not dealing with something or not wanting to go in a direction that you want to go. You want to do some other shit. See how I broke that down?
Yeah, because I mean, if you go to the left,
bang, bang, bang.
You can be settling for that choice you made going to the left, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent.
Right.
And then you also have the Y, the right side of that fork that you're settling, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent on that end. So, I mean, it's that option to choose.
Right.
Which way do you want to go? Because in one of them is going to be either some good shit or some bad shit.
See,
but I think both of them are going to have both of those options.
Right.
The good and the bad.
Right. And the thing is that we've grown accustomed to how we deal with our own stuff.
True.
And it could be based on an experience that you had growing up. You know, when you grew up, you wanted to do it just like them or better or whatever the case may be. You just had the blueprint. Some people don't have that blueprint.
Correct.
So the settling that they immediately start dealing with or applying to their life is adapting to where the current situation is, mindset wise. Instead of just like, you know, I can go to school. Well, no, there's roadblocks. You know, it's not necessarily in the greatest area, or there's other struggles, not necessarily in the area you live in, but where the school may be at.
Right.
It's so many different things and so many different distractions that people don't want to talk about, yet they want to keep funding and keep non-funding the people that that I think should have the money. See, they don't fund the teachers that they need to actually give a higher salary to, especially if they're
across the board teachers.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
board.
My thing is this: if you decide to be a teacher, you should be paid in a different tax bracket, or at least the opportunity to be able to get to the next tax bracket without having to be right at the medium level of income for a state.
Yeah.
If you're the medium income for a state, you're basically middle class, which means you have a great job, you have a car, you may have a house, but that house is not necessarily the best place, but it's a decent place.
Right.
It's not bad. It's not all the way great. It's good, but it's not like perfect. It's a settle because this is what I can afford.
Correct.
It's not that you can't achieve higher things.
Right.
You just go off of what you can afford because of the distractions.
They're living within their means, not
Cost of living and that type of shit. It's like these are things that are created as roadblocks because people will sit there and say, I will never see a 6-figure income. I will never have $1 million. You already putting negativity to settle with. This is the extra shit that you sprinkle on settling. I'm going to create more distractions so that I have to navigate through them to get by to even try to be successful or try to, get out of a situation that I'm in. It's like we create more settling loopholes for our own self. We are the virus in the computer that will shut that shit down. That's what settling is that monkeypox outbreak. And you just like, matter of fact, do you remember Contagion?
I do remember watching it. I don't recall
Where they had patient zero that was passing the virus around and
Yes, I remember that piece.
This is exactly how settling is. It's just how an epidemic happens. I don't want to compare it to COVID because that would be a bad analogy. I will do something very old. Not recent, but not too old. If we don't put things in place to protect our people, this is the type of shit that happens.
Yeah.
So we're settling to deal with this shit because we don't want to vote. Not making this political, but this is kind of the mastering the game that is being played. This is part of mastering that game. Y'all better be writing this shit down. You have to master all the game, not just the game that you're successful in. All of it. That's how you become successful. The money's going to come to you when you can master the game, the true game. Yeah, you might have a little bit of extra money. You might have a little bit of an income. But when you can master the game, you're the sensei. You are the sensei that we go to when we want to go martial arts. This is the person that is teaching you how to protect yourself in the way that you want to learn how to protect yourself, not because it's cool, but because you actually like it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get into the following syndrome because their friend is doing something. They follow them, not because they like what this individual has gotten into, but it's because it's their friend and they want to follow what they're doing. So it's almost as if that follower has settled for something that they may or may not have any interest in, but their interest is their friends.
That's possible too. I mean, I've seen that too. A lot of it is they want to be close to somebody, and in order to be close to these people that actually like them, you're going to have to actually be sacrificing, which is a big settle, because you're now settling to just be accepted when really you're changing who you really are.
Right. I was just about to say, to be accepted.
Like, you don't even like techno music, but you in no damn techno clubs. Oh shit. You listening to that type of shit when you normally like, I don't know,
jazz music.
Yeah, you know, some old Kenny G or just some old weird type shit. Just Yeah, this is your speed. This is your speed right here. You ain't even fucking up the game right now. You just chilling with a stogie right now. You chilling. Mm-hmm. That cigar lounge is popping. But no, you more on this speed. That old creepy type shit. You just like, I'm ready to sneak in. But it's not that type of beat.
I was just gonna say, and when that beat really drops,
it's not that type of beat. So it's like leading you in. So you actually sucked into it. Now you done broke out like 4-car windows. Cause soon as that beat came in, you in a pow, 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 pow. You ain't got no car windows. Every window in your car is shot the hell out.
I got nothing.
I got nothing either. But I heard that.
I did too.
Anywho,
we got voices coming out of everywhere in this house somewhere.
Damn TVs. So it's really weird just how we are okay with dealing with things the way we deal with them, no matter what it is. But we can't be okay with just saying, you know what? I'm not going to accept this shit. I'm not going to settle for this. I'm not going to settle for that. And overcome it. And actually overcome it. Not, creating vices to hide from it and all this other kind of stuff. Like, really overcome it. And to me, I think it's better how we accept that than just dealing with it. I think we deal with that type of stuff all the time, even in our like relationships or even just financial. Some people just settle that, I'm only going to make this amount of money, but they don't strive to try to make more of it. They just complain about the stuff that they have to deal with the job that they have. And maybe that's because that's all they know.
Very good possibility.
So it's like we gotta do better in just wanting to be successful as a people.
I was just gonna say all the way around.
Well, yeah, I mean, just as a people. I mean, shit. But it's just, I don't know. Everything is too divided and too wishy-washy. It's like you gotta vote for this person if you want things to change, and then when you vote for that person, they lie, and none of the changes happen. So it's like, who do we really put in position that's really going to hear our voice? And it's like, you.
Or act on the things that they said they were going
to
do.
But I tell people, it's you. If we can have social influencers on TikTok and everything else, these influencers are being successful because people are paying attention to their videos, liking what they hear, and then following them and supporting them. Why come we can't support people like that can go viral? Because it's not something viral that people want to talk about or people want to deal with or even listen to. There's a select few people that are actually moving and shaking, and they actually want that to go in their direction, and it may become successful, and it may become a trend. It may be something bigger than, whatever, but that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because it's political. Social media has control of that because they don't want no advertisement of political shit. And if y'all paying attention on Facebook, they just released that. I think it was like 2 days ago. So now you're going to start seeing political advertisements. And then they shut it off. And the reason being is because that's when all your people that you've probably blocked all last year, that's where about 68% of them shits come from.
Oh, because they're back in the game.
My block list is huge. If I don't want to see what you have on your page or whatever, that's the easiest way for me to do it. Because if I still have access, I'm petty as hell. And I'll do everything I can to do to piss you off because I'm an asshole. But I've gotten better and I don't do that no more. I really don't, because that's petty. As a grown ass man, I'll say that's petty.
But you, the king of petty.
But that too. I've grown into a better sense of knowing who I am, and I know that getting an emotional reaction out of someone that has just pissed you off is just as fulfilling as. I'm not gonna lie. That the first time I had sex. That's exactly the feeling you get. That's an asshole. Like purebred all the way asshole. He gets off knowing that he's going to get an emotional response out of you. Because you did him wrong. That's the type of asshole I am. Everybody's like, that's fucking with him. No, it's not. He tried it. I'm going to show you how you try harder. I'm going to make you not really like me. Because I'm an asshole. It's a proven fact. It is a proven fact. And I'm telling you, a lot of people need that in their life.
Why?
Because they're dumbasses. See, we're assholes, but they're dumbasses. They can't find their asshole because they're dumbasses. Even if they were looking for it, they can't find it. I'll take a lot of like opportunities that people, I don't know, don't take enough time to let it breathe. Just let it breathe on you for a little bit. It's people want to just like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I mean, it's the same thing you get when, you don't get the support you think you should get. I'm like, dang, why? What did I do wrong? But then, you go out, and I've talked about this several times. You could go out and you talk to somebody you ain't actually seen in the physical in a few years or whatever, but they respond to you on Facebook. Then the first thing they're like, man, I see you working that little thing over there. I see you doing that thing. That's what's up. Oh, you listened, or you came by and bought something or whatever? Oh no, I mean I heard about it. I see you post on Facebook or Instagram or whatever. Huh? Okay, so that's what this is. So I've learned that experience allowed me to grow to the person I am now. And I tell anybody, if you love doing something and it's a ability to express yourself and express yourself in a way that is going to help people or provide them some type of knowledge or provide a service for them, whatever it is, don't take no for an answer. Failure is an opportunity to grow through the experience of understanding why something failed. And then understanding that you don't have to deal with that to be, not necessarily to give up, but using it as motivation to say, I need to change and do something else. And everybody say, no, it's distractions. There's so many things, roadblocks. And I fought through the roadblocks and I thought I had blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you know what? The key thing that you said and everything you said was I thought. A lot of times we think the only way to a certain goal is how you researched it. People don't understand that there's several ways to research things to receive an opportunity or receive a job or whatever it is that you're looking for. You want to get a job, you want to be a part of an investment firm, you want to, work at a bank or be a teacher, whatever. But there's a pipeline that you heard about or know of. You're just trying to do more research on what it is and if there's other pipelines that might be more comfortable for you.
Yeah, and then there's the other people that are like, yo, I need to get there as fast as possible. Mm-hmm. And which route is that? I just need the easy way out.
I'm going to say this. Getting successful is not a quick fix, or it's not a quick thing, which is two different things. Quick fix and a quick thing. A lot of times people want the stuff now. They want the info now. They want this now. So they pay for it or they're going to take it. The quick fix is the taking it. So it's learning to be able to understand that money can come real fast. It can go real fast too.
Right.
So we need to stop creating excuses as to why we do stuff if it's a Band-Aid. If you're putting a Band-Aid on a situation that's never going to be permanent, that's a dead end road. You just keep going over the same road and just keep doing construction on it so it looks nice. That's it. That's what the Band-Aid is. You just doing it so it looks nice.
Yeah, and every time you pull it off, you apply another one.
Mm-hmm.
And you pull that one off, and you apply another.
And a lot of people don't realize that the Band-Aids that they create are excuses of why they are continuously going to stay where they're at. And what I mean by that is when we have a decision of something that we know can bring us out of a situation or provide money to add to something you created as a distraction in your life, it's like we've got to figure out the priorities. It's like you want to have a lot of money, but you just want to do risky shit to get it.
It's their comfort zone.
Exactly. You get comfortable in thinking I want the shortcut so that I can fix my shit now. And it's like, what's the risk and what's the repercussions? I ain't going to get caught. Now they done did 3 damn Lifetime fucking episodes of your ass. They got 3 different movies in different damn forms. Basically of the woman doing the same shit. Same thing with guys. Guys do this. I mean, it's the same thing. So we got to stop being comfortable or making comfort food for ourselves to just settle for. It's like you're settling to fail, but at the same time, you're not settling to accomplish the ultimate goal, which is to not fail, to be successful. Sure, there's failure that's going to be out there, but how do you deal with it and how you get back up and brush the rocks off your knees is the question.
Yeah, and a lot of people have gone through failures that also have become big rejections, and the failure and the rejection is a very hurtful thing to them, and they try to bypass it because they don't want to ever deal with that again.
Right, and that's the Band-Aid. That's the Band-Aid.
They start with the Band-Aid big and get down to the butterfly.
It'll eventually get down to the butterfly. Eventually it'll come to that real skinny small Band-Aid. I don't see it no more, but it looked like a long rectangle. It was real thin. I want to say it was like maybe
it's like
a quarter of an inch wide.
It's like a butterfly Band-Aid.
It's kind of like it, yeah, but it was just one strip with a piece of that little thin ass cotton in between there. Like you got stung by a bee, you're going to put that shit on there at first. And then when it swell up, you're going to put that big ass circle Band-Aid on there. Because you didn't realize how big that knot was going to get. So it starts off small. But it ends up just being something that you can't control anymore. But that's the same situation that we do. We get comfortable in certain things to have shortcuts to get to the money instead of creating an avenue that's going to give you active passive income or more cash so that you can create the asset, buy the assets that you need to buy. Because that's the avenue of having income create wealth is to put it in some type of vehicle that's going to provide that wealth for the money that you put into it.
Right.
But people don't want to have the conversations or listen to the conversations or just pass it on to people that are having these conversations to hear a different perspective on why people are the way they are and why they don't try to be successful at stuff, or they are successful at it, but it's not something that you can actually attain as a succession of successfulness.
Good golly.
For a long period of time.
That was a mouthful.
Yeah, I know. Goddamn. Shut it down. So I'll put it like this. People want to be better financially, but at the same time, not have to go through the steps to get there. It's like, I can always get to the money. I'm not worried about that. So we're going to just let it happen. No. I think what needs to happen is that we need to be able to have these vehicles readily available for people so that it's not a shock and awe kind of thing to them, regardless of how old they are. And regardless of how successful you are financially.
Right, right.
Some of us have so many vehicles of active passive income that they don't even teach to their own people. And then I saw a post earlier on my Facebook that kind of drilled this into my head, because I've always had this thought about it. So this Jewish man, ironically, we're saying he's, a Jewish man after all the shit that's happened in mainstream media with Kanye and now Kyrie Irving. But anyway, it was this Jewish guy, and he said that when he was 21 years old, he had a friend of his show him $6 million in cash. And he was like, man, how do you get all that money? And he's like, Jewish people create 5 millionaires when they become millionaires, because they take care of each other. They show each other the ropes. And this guy is a millionaire, successful. Mm-hmm. And then it dawned on me, it's like, this is not even a question of, so what? No, this is an aha moment. At one point in time, black people used to actually help one another out and educate. When one was successful, they was all successful. And then it got to this, fuck you, I got to take care of mine. I just want to learn on your own. People became standoffish because of how they were treated to get there.
Exactly. So
they created, this shit's been going on for years, okay? They created a settle point in their life, an option. I'm going to protect mine. Well, guess what? There's a lot of people that have that mentality to this day, and it's not necessarily wrong. It's just, there's a lot more of those people out there than there is people that actually want to teach people how to be successful. In the growth of being successful financially, even in life. It's like you can't appreciate your accomplishments or you can't appreciate the things that somebody's done. Then why are you in this conversation? It's like we don't want to hear your rebuttal because you don't want to help people get to that point to where they're successful and they're not living, paycheck to paycheck, worrying about how we're going to make this end meet and that end meet and everything else. And it's hard to just say, damn, I need to just settle down, or I need to, we have to experience the things that we don't want to deal with and deal with those instead of just eating the experiences we deal with and we like and we accept. It's like we're not accepting all the experiences that we've had to, deal with. So we just basically put Post-it notes in our fucking brain. And then what ends up happening is that glue on that Post-it note eventually is going to fall the fuck off.
Right. And there's so many in there. They're just all scattered around.
It's like you just creating a bunch of shit for no reason. Like for no reason at all. And I think it's damaging when there's so many Post-it notes in your brain or so many Band-Aids that you done put on. It's like you don't even know who you are no more. You know who you created. Because we self-create these things to protect ourselves instead of admitting to the fact that we've done that shit and we need to stop. It's painful just to even experience or even watch because of the fact that we deal with that all day long. And it's not even just like painfully obvious because, I see it and it is what it is. But it's accepting that person, but not accepting the bullshit with it. It's like, I can deal with you, but when it comes to that, it's like, nah, bro, I'm busy. And I know you just need an outlet. Just an outlet so that you can have a conversation or just a, event fest. But sometimes the bullshit you create needs to just stay with you.
Yeah, not everybody needs to hear that side of it.
I tell people like this. You can be as comfortable as you want to be with what you have created. The problem is, at some point, you're going to have to deal with it. And the way you have to deal with it, it can't be in a way that you cannot create a healthy outcome out of it. Which means we can't settle for nothing less. It has to be a positive outcome. So we have to learn from those accomplishments and learn from the failures as well. But at the same time, failure is not an option. You have to be motivated to not fail so that there's nothing that needs to not be created from a failure. Because we go into protective mode. If we don't experience certain things, we get into protective mode.
Right.
People that deal with mental health are always on protective mode. I protect my anxiety and everything. From not just me, but from people around me. And there's certain things that I don't do, and there's certain things that I will not do. And it's healthier for me. People say, oh, you just need to experience it and go through it and you'll overcome it. And, it's easier said than done.
Right.
You can't force people to deal with something that they've dealt with the best way that they can deal with it. And it's hard when people exacerbate that with never experiencing or going through what a person has gone through with PTSD. And there's many forms of it. I mean, not just in the military. People that's been in domestic violence situations, people that has been, in shootouts, have seen someone get killed, almost experiencing death themselves.
Right.
It's certain things that people go through that they protect. But at the same time, I mean, they let people know so that people are aware. While there's some people that don't know and they're never aware. So it's people, we dealing with that. And, sometimes I just think people will be more compassionate to those people and understand their situation. But sometimes, you got to just let them express themselves.
Right.
And not just in the direction that, you feel that they're fed up, but in a compassionate way of just being there to listen. Because that's really what a lot of people need when they deal with anybody that has mental health, is to listen to them. And some people, you just be like, okay, now I can't listen to them because he be freaking out on himself. I just don't want him to freak out on me. I mean, because I don't want to have to break both his ankles if he's running towards me. I don't want to have to do that. So juking somebody is a form I learned in the military, and I'm very good at it. I will break both them ankles. I would do what Kevin Durant did in the first quarter of the basketball game tonight. He shook this dude so bad, he just collapsed. And then made the 15-footer and walked away.
Damn.
It was the most embarrassing shit I've ever seen in my life. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not. Really, nigga? I'm just saying. It was the most embarrassing. I mean, and what made, I don't care what you hear or see when it comes to basketball, but when someone gets shook and they fall to the ground, you are forever a meme. Like forever. And the fact that Kevin Durant shook this dude out his socks and pancaked his ass on the ground and then made the shot. Oh, I'm waiting till that meme come out. I know it's going to be our first thing in the morning. If it ain't already out.
I was just about to say, are you sure it's not already out?
I'm going to have to, I didn't do my little thing to add my screen because I would have showed it. Y'all would have laughed your ass off. I ain't going to even lie about it. But y'all can look it up on Bleacher Report or even on YouTube. Just look at Brooklyn Nets and Washington Wizards. That's what they're playing. They're playing in D.C. tonight.
Oh. Well.
Yeah, so I'm not going to talk about that shit. Anyway, y'all, I ain't going to keep y'all long. Like I said, try to keep my podcast in a breathable minute for y'all to, so it's easy listening. I mean, I want y'all to be able to actually, be listening while you're working out, or even if you're just chilling and you may have just got home and you're just having a drink, a sippy sip of some good bourbon or some yak or something. You might be just having a little sippy sip, or you might be some wine, whatever it is. I wanted to be casual conversation on a Friday night with the podcast, but it's also listening that you could do, during the day.
Facts.
So, peace and love to everybody. I appreciate y'all listening. You got anything for them before we get up out of here?
No, peace and love, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. We will be back next week Make sure you tap in, tune in, share, jump in the comments, join the conversation.
I appreciate. Yep.
Have a great weekend.
No doubt. Hey, y'all, appreciate y'all. I appreciate the comments in Facebook. Hey, they messaged me, Keith, and I holler at everybody. Thanks for listening in on the podcast as always, live on Facebook. And an announcement: I'm shutting it down after the Veterans Day podcast. That's gonna be the last Facebook Live that I'm gonna do. Exclusively, I'll still be doing my podcast. It'll just be live on Spreaker.com unless I find another avenue to change the analytics or do some things, but I'm not messing with Facebook like that, so I ain't trying to do all that homework. And I'm gonna strictly be just doing it on Spreaker.com. So my listeners on Facebook, download the app, search That's What I Said, and you'll be able to listen to me live, and you'll get a Facebook notification, because that's what my platform does. It'll notify my Facebook, so everybody will know when I go live, so they won't have no excuse. But even if you get to download the app, it'll give you a notification too. So it is what it is, y'all. I'm done playing with Facebook. I'm tired of dealing with everything that comes with just Facebook and this analytics. People won't even get a notification that I went live probably until tomorrow.
Yep. That's usually about the time frame that I get notifications.
Right.
About the next day.
So I'm not going to deal with it until they fix the analytics of it. And everybody's like, no, you shouldn't, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I am. I'm going to do it only because I'm going to find a way to be smarter at the analytic game than they are. So until then, y'all, peace and love. Y'all enjoy yourself. I really do appreciate it. Hell, I might do it on TikTok. You never know. Anyway, I'm just saying. Peace and love to y'all. I holler at y'all next Friday. It'll be the Veterans Day episode. Peace and love to y'all. I hope y'all have a great Friday evening. Enjoy the weekend. We out.
Peace.
That's What He Said with Cedric D. Sanders.
Hello, my name is Cedric, and along with my beautiful wife, Connie, we'll be hosting my brand new podcast, That's What I Said. I'm a retired Navy veteran that suffers from PTSD and anxiety, and we'll discuss how I cope with the mental illness through comedy and discussion. It's a podcast that will talk about everything from cryptocurrency to comedy. If we're worrying about the dollar going up and down, up and down, up and down, and it's still a dollar, guess what? The value of that means absolutely nothing. Cryptocurrency in itself is the future of money. From spirituality to cannabis. To have cannabis on the Schedule 1 list is bullshit. I'm sorry, it is. It makes absolutely no sense. If it's a seed that can be planted and it has healing properties in it, why the hell is it in Schedule 1? Last time I checked, cocaine don't have healing property in it. From interracial relationships, I don't have a problem with people talking about interracial relationships. People try to talk bad about my interracial relationship just to think that they can get under my skin. I mean, really, it don't bother me. I mean, let's not make, call a spade a spade. But if you have a problem with someone that's in love, it shouldn't matter the race of the person. It's mental illness in our community. The problem is people want to put labels on it. Everybody wants to put color on everything. And as soon as you put color on it, it gets treated differently. The money gets treated funny. Because if it's dealing with Asians, guess what? It's going to take a longer process unless those leaders step up and get into the president's face or U.S. leaders' face and say, this is a problem in our community. Not leaving one topic unturned. If you want to hear real, authentic conversation, interviews, and comedy, please take time to listen to That's What I Said, because I said what I said.
Giving you 100% authentic, real, raw, unapologetic truth with no filter. Listen to That's What I Said. Available on your favorite podcast platform.
You eat ass with a baby spoon. Bitch, what?